Welcome back to the Witch's Way podcast. I'm Kat.
And I'm Jamie. And tonight we are talking about Libra season and all things balance. But we are also talking about working with the goddess Themis. And I want to make a precipice on this, you guys. A precipice? That's not the word I wanted at all. What is it called? Fucking love myself. That's a grand 30-second opening right there. I want to make a point to say, so whatever word I was thinking of,
I know what she's going to say already. I read her mind.
I want to make it a point to say that I do not know extensively about the pantheons because they are so much mythology and less logic that it is hard for my brain to remember them and like wrap my head around them. But Themis is a Titan goddess. So here's a little bit of her lineage, like a tiny smidgen, right? Greek pantheon. There were two beings that came before her, Gaia, who is like, everything and the earth. And then she created her husband, Uranus, and then together they had 12 Titans. And then Themis is one of the daughters. That's as far as we're going to go into that because also I don't want to hurt your brain thinking about the lineage of all these gods and goddesses that do all these crazy things and eat each other and spit people out and born of sperm from the foam of the sea.
Eat their fingernail and then spit it out and it's a kid.
I don't know. Yeah, all the crazy things. The stories are so much.
Stuff. I thought what you were going to, I have to say, I thought what she was going to say was, I don't like her name.
Themis? It doesn't bother me.
I thought you didn't like her name.
It reminds me of Thelma. It does, yeah.
It's Themis.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
And you wouldn't hear of this goddess unless you needed to do justice or law work. I mean, that's just part of it. So in this episode, you guys, we are going to talk about Themis, the Greek goddess of divine order and justice and the cosmic law. This bitch was the bringer of karma. Like, that's what she did. She made sure that no other gods and goddesses disrespected cosmic order, or she was there to make them answer for it. So we're going to show you how to work with her energy, to restore harmony, to trust in the scales, the balance, yourself even, your own system of balance and scales. Like, how do we help ourselves? And then just bring fairness and truth into your life during Libra season, because that's what Libra season is about, right? The scales. I know you've talked about Libra season and Libras being so fun and
they are so fun. Everyone I've known is always fun.
I love that.
They're also irresponsible, a lot of them. Because they're like, I just want to have fun. Fuck being responsible.
That's so interesting.
My sister and then Paul, one of my ex-boyfriends.
Which sister?
Nancy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nancy Marie? Nancy what? Nancy, what's her middle name?
Nancy Ann.
Nancy Ann.
Yeah, she was named after my mother. Because my mother, that was her fifth child, and she wanted a boy, and she didn't get the boy with the fifth child, and so she's
Nancy Ann Jr.
She named her after her because she was worried that she wouldn't love her or something.
Oh shit! That's another podcast.
And instead, they just completely spoiled her, so she never had to be responsible for anything. That's not really true. But if your daddy's still balancing your checkbook when you're 35, I don't know.
65,
35. Okay. Anyway,
55.
Different podcast.
Podcast. Yeah. So Libra season is finally here, and for me personally, what I love about Libra season, it is my husband's birthday season. So I never knew a Libra before him. I was never friends with one. I don't know. I guess I didn't find any. And so really, if you have anybody in your life where you're like, when you say Libra, think of it, you're like, that person. That's the embodiment of what I know about Libras. And we can tend to get stuck on that. So I have to break out of my own biases of like knowing my husband and all of his little isms to learn more about Libras, because obviously, just like all Pisces, we're not all the same, right? All Scorpios. Oh wait, you all are all the same, aren't you? No, I'm kidding. Oh shit.
Is she talking about Scorpio season, which is next?
I know.
Hello.
That's going to be your time to shine.
That's my time to shine. And your son's.
I know. I don't ever consider him a Scorpio. It is so weird.
So weird.
I know. Well, he's not. He's kind of close to the cusp with Sag, but not days, like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Anyway, Libra season. What do we know about it, working with it? How do you feel when Libra season hits? If you talk about a Libra person, what's your idea of them? Because like you said, yours is not all scales and balance and shit. You're thinking these are the partiers who are irresponsible. That's hilarious that you think that of the one that's supposed to represent balance.
Well, the ones I've known have always been like fun and funny, and they like to have fun. And they were, so if they like to have fun, then they brought fun with them, and they were fun to be around. For me, Scorpio kind of being reserved and like a little bit of a wallflower, I'm always the one that's, I have to, if I go into a room full of people, I've got to stand back and observe everything and sort of get my bearings before, I can't just, and like my sister or Paul, two of the Libras that I know that embody what I consider to be a Libra, which is a really fun person, they would walk in and just start, hey, I'm here, what's up? And me, I'm like, no, I'm looking around like, who the fuck, okay. I gotta scan the room. I gotta size people up. I gotta know who I can like trust. What
all
vibe
in our
I'm
heads,
getting.
Man. That, and I don't know that comes from your Scorpio side, but that is us as far as like being Virgo rising.
Yeah, Virgo rising. Could be that.
Libra, well, we're Libra moons, so.
Well, the thing about me is like, I always want to know what people's motivations are. I want, whatever they're portraying, I'm like, yeah, that's just your outward stuff. I want to know what's going on the inside. That's the Scorpio
side.
That's the
She
Scorpio.
was ready to get into the deep, dark shit. Tell me your purpose in life. What'd you do wrong last week? I want to know why you don't like your mom. She doesn't want to have these surface level conversations. Kat's ready to get into the deep shit like immediately.
It's true. It's true. And my grandson, my Scorpio grandson, is the same way.
He is the same way, yeah.
Yeah, so that about him
really
is
does
very
not like mundane life at all.
He really, that part of him is really Scorpio. Yeah. I see that because it's just like me. I'm like, we don't like superficial.
No.
In relationships,
it has to have a point and purpose.
In relationships, we definitely don't like superficial. We've got to have that deep connection and deep conversations and
deep
like,
meaning.
dig into all the stuff, all the gooey stuff, and you're like, tell me more.
Do you know what he is recently? Well, I don't even know how long, but I told him it's not healthy for him. He's been watching body cam videos because he likes to see the rawness of, I don't know, everybody.
Police body cam videos?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to talk to him about that. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
The thing is like he doesn't want to turn away from the raw and what he considers like real. That's the Scorpio shit, trying to get into it too much.
Yeah. Well, I knew he was like the Law and Order little shit. I called him. I took him to. I took my 3 grandsons to Legoland when I came for a visit here in Florida.
He was 7. He's 19 now.
Yeah, and so him and Julian were 7. So Giovanni was what?
3 or 4. Yeah.
Anyway, so the whole way we're driving there, and it's like a 3-hour drive from when I picked him up to when we get to Legoland. The whole way there, he's like, "You can't do that. You can't make that turn." And just like he's correcting me, I'm like, "All right, little sheriff." And then when we get to Legoland, and I have a beer because I finally get him to the pool after the rides and stuff, and I have beer. He's like, "Are you going to drink and drive?" And I'm just like, "Dude, you need to go swim."
It was. She had to call me and she was like, your son is trying to tell me what I can and can't do. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's real big about that. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just his personality. I don't know. And I don't know if he has any Libra placings, but his sense of justice and his like needing things to be right in the world, fairness is huge for him.
Super big.
It really we're
gonna have to look at his chart and see what Libra placements he has.
Well, we'll have to mark this down for next season during Scorpio so that we can talk about you and him as far as Scorpio's differences and possible placements and stuff, because this sounds like we could really uncover some shit here and you guys could hear all about the drama, the realness, and like, here's what's really happening inside the head of a Scorpio. But for now, we're going to talk about, like, with Libra season being here, this is when everybody starts thinking about balance. Because I think most of the time, we're just like, just attend to the things that are on fire. Honestly, I don't know if you guys live this way too, but it's like, what is the next dumpster fire I just got to put out? It's more reactive than it is
proactive,
preparedness, thinking ahead. I don't know. We just kind of tend to the things that are the squeaky wheels. I've worked in so many places that are like that. It's like,
I think that's the nature of our culture, our society today, with everything that we have going on, and we busy ourselves when we don't have anything going on. Speaking personally, I'm on my fucking phone reading through threads and I'm wasting time.
Threads.
Wasting my time with that. I'm like, you could be doing something more productive than finding out what everybody has to say about the latest asinine thing that this administration did.
Or where are Travis and Taylor going to get married? I mean, we got to keep up on
that too. Yeah,
Trav and Tay information. So we got to do that. So there are things that we like to know about, and I think the balance comes into what do we have to actually take care of over here, and this is our responsibilities, and we're checking all the marks, and we're the list, and then over here we're like, all right, I want to let my brain have more fun. I'm going to indulge in these other things like games on my iPad.
Are you still doing games on your iPad?
I have puzzles on my iPad that I do, yeah. But I consider them brain work.
You used to spend your evening in bed, doing that. Do you still do that?
That's how I wind down, yep.
Okay.
Because it gives my brain, I have ADHD, and so what I do at night to help my brain stop thinking about all the things I didn't get done, projects, things people said about me in 7th grade, like whatever the fuck comes up for me. Because that's just what the ADHD brain does, right? It just constantly skips around from things, and all the songs in my head and like TV shows, and I gotta start looking shit up. I don't know. I do a brain game, and it's basically just solving puzzles and getting to that next thing. So it's these little hits of dopamine because I've solved a level, but it's a puzzle to finish. And puzzles are one of my big, I won't say addictions, but they're a way that I balance out the worry brain over here. And then I balance it with like, let's give the brain things that it can handle. I get these little wins and I feel better. And that's just what I do. And,
Okay.
That's the balance that I create at night for myself. How do you wind down for balance? Oh, Lord. She already said it. She's on Threads. Well, at least look at fun stuff. Send me ideas about.
I'm trying to read. I have all these astrology books and studying that I need to do. So I'm trying to put my phone down more. But I swear I'll read something in an astrology book and I'll have to go look it up, and then I need my phone, and then it takes me down the rabbit hole. And then it takes me leads me from one thing to another. Like, oh, what about that? And what about that?
Oh, you're turning your brain back on. See, that's why I have to do this. I have to do a puzzle solving game because that's all I don't have to start creating more questions in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Figured the balance is what we realize should be happening during Libra season. We all start questioning I don't know. Am I balanced? I don't know. Where's my time spent? Start assessing things. Or sometimes during Libra season, shit comes up in your life that forces you into balance and you have to give up things and things are cut out and you're just like, ugh. And normally it's not in a fun way. It'll be... I know one year there was a delayed tax thing, and then I was supposed to get something back from the Navy. It was the year I got out, and I waited all this time, and they were like, oh yeah, you'll have your decision. And then during Libra season, guess what? They were like, I was counting on, I don't know, it was like $5,000. It was not a little amount of money. I was just like, oh, they're going to get that to me. It's going to be a check, Do you know what they told me? And I was spending irresponsibly, first off. That's the point here. You know what they told me? They were like, oh no, we messed up. Sorry, you're actually getting nothing. I was like, how dare you? Promise me and then not give it to me, because I spent before I had it. And that was something that was a huge learning year for me. To not, what did they say? Count your eggs before they hatch or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Huge. So you'll find that in your life.
Count your chickens before they hatch.
Oh. Not your eggs before they hatch? I don't know.
Count your chickens before they hatch. Yeah.
They come in eggs.
They do come in eggs, but yeah.
I'm not totally wrong with that saying. But
I've done that before.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have.
I've done that before and expecting that I was going to get something, and then it didn't come through. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that leather couch looks really nice, or it did. Wonder if they'll repo it. Just kidding. I've never bought a leather couch.
A leather couch.
Ew. But it's that thing you do. You're anticipating your tax return. And you're like, I got it. So, the tax return's coming. It'll be here in 3 weeks. So let's go out and buy that new washer and dryer that we need.
Right.
And then you get a letter from the IRS. Thing. It's like, oh, you miscalculated.
There was a mistake.
And you owe us $2,000.
You know what's fucked up?
Instead of getting $2,000.
That not only happened to me my first year out of the Navy, it happened on the second year as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. They really stuck it to me when I got out.
Damn.
Horrible. So I learned.
Jerk-offs.
But,
Okay.
It's the time of year where, you know, most of the time we're like shoving our shit in the hall closet and we're like, oh, we'll deal with that later, deal with it later. Libra's season has a reckoning and it will come and just be like, karma's here to deliver exactly what you asked for. I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, but we're going to make it short. So you'll probably have a lot of questions because I can't explain everything. But once upon a time, I ran away. And I really wanted to get caught so I could be sent home because I didn't think my mom would just allow me to walk back in the door because I thought we were so mad at each other she would never talk to me again because I'm dramatic. So I started stealing from Dillard's. I was trying to get caught, you guys, okay? I was 16 years old. I walked in. I didn't even look at the sizes of the clothes. I just grabbed them off the rack and I walked out the door expecting to be chased down, sirens, fucking thrown to the ground, cops are everywhere. Like, I don't know, Mission Impossible
She is dramatic.
movie. I am. I just thought that I would get caught. I didn't even pick out sizes. The clothes weren't for me. The whole idea was to get caught so I could be returned to my mom and she couldn't say no. It's so funny now to think about it. 16-year-old me. Well, guess what? I walked out the door and nothing happened. And then I didn't know what to do. I had all these clothes in my hand. I'm like, now what? So I just walked to the car, put them in the car, and I was like, okay. So I guess I just stole clothes and now what? Like, they don't even fit me. I don't even know what sizes I got or anything. And I was like, fuck, well, that plan didn't work. Well, then it was kind of like, well, what else could I take from a store? Nobody fucking cares. Like, this is crazy. So fast forwarded a bit. I am finally returned to my mom, not because of stealing, because she posted missing child photos and the people I was staying with were like, are you a fucking runaway? Go home to your mom right now. Get out of our house. Because obviously I was lying. And I was like, no, I'm on a break from school. It's all fine. So when I get back to her house, why am I still pissed off? I got exactly what I wanted, but I'm with like this guy who's friends, and he's like, oh yeah, I take little things from this store, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I could do that. I could fit in. I could totally do this. You know, one of the cool kids now. I'm like stealing from stores and shit, and I get away with it. And now, about 6 months later, I was in the Navy. Obviously, I was 18. Now I'm done. I was like, I cannot get in trouble ever. But I have these clothes with me still. And what was really funny is that we live in barracks in the military, and you wash your clothes in a spot that's not in your room. And I left my clothes drying. The next morning, I come in, they're all gone. And I was like, yep, I'm good with that. I didn't get mad. I was like, good, gone, bye. And I've told people this. I was like, anything that you have done in that injustice thing, you better fucking get rid of it. Give it away. Let somebody steal it. I don't know, leave it out for somebody. Because it's going to happen. And you could either, like, let it happen at an opportune time or fucking just get rid of it and give it away. And, like, you know what? I'm paying the karmic debt back to it now. So that's my clothes stealing story. It was just clothes. I don't know. I'm not proud of it, but I do like my lesson that I got out of it. I got a lot out of that. And I wasn't sad that they were all stolen. I was like, oh, I feel relieved when they all left.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I did. I was just like...
you're like, good. That's been a weight around my neck.
I'm like, ugh, I've really not liked knowing that I stole these and I don't know what to do about it. Because I wasn't going to walk myself back into the store and be like, can I return these stolen clothes, please? Once you decide that you don't want to do that kind of thing anymore, yeah.
Okay, so do we want to talk about who Themis is?
Yes, let's introduce Themis, because we talked about that she's a goddess of cosmic order or cosmic law, sacred order, and just holding the scales steady, right? She literally, if you guys pull up a picture of her, she is, number one, she's blindfolded in some of the photos, but that is because her sense of justice was so strong, she didn't need eyes to see that things were going on. She felt it. She knew it deep in her core. And then she has a sword in one hand and scales in another. And the sword is not representative of, like, justice and, like, swinging the sword or, like, the hammer down, or I don't know what. It's not a weapon.
It's not a weapon.
It's the symbol that's actually tied to the tarot suit swords for cutting through bullshit and, like, making the final decision and cutting the energetic cords of things. Like, now this must be done. That's justice. You're done. That's it. Like, karmic law, it's in place. Yeah. Did I totally took over the conversation from you?
That's okay.
As you were saying
no,
something.
it's fine. It's fine.
But I think with working with her, what we're going to talk about, what I wrote about, is just, like, how to get your balance back. You know, stop second guessing yourself and, like, call justice where it's needed. So she is that, her card in the tarot would be the justice card. her imagery looks sort of like the Two of Swords to me. That was the other card I associated her with.
Yeah.
But that's because we're deciding on our lessons in our own mind. You know, the crossed swords, the blindfold, all that sitting there. Yeah. So we wrote down 5 facts about Themis, Mom.
So, yeah, we kind of covered 1 and 2. Well, the Oracle of Delphi before Apollo. What?
I know. I shouldn't have wrote that.
Not? So we're just going to skip that because that's even too much for my brain. And I'm just going to go to the next point, which is she's the mother of seasons and fates. So Themis is said to be the mother of Hore. Am I saying that right? Goddess of the seasons and natural order, and of Morial or something like that. The 3 fates. Do you know how to say that? M-O-I-R-A.
I have to see the word, and I'm
number 3 under
the Morai.
Morai. Okay, Morai. The 3 fates, tying her to cycles, destiny, and cosmic timing. So, this goddess Themis is tied to cycles, destiny, cosmic timing. Right?
Yes. I am going to just interject a personal. There is a show on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix called The Sandman. It's very interesting. It's got lots of stuff in it. But I really like the way they represent the 3 fates there. Basically, the 3 fates are like Hecate, where it's a mother maiden crone. It's 3 goddesses.
Yeah,
they represent the 3
familiar with that.
I know. Yeah, you got to know like that pantheon. But it is basically a 3-faced goddess that does mother maiden crone. It's all the wisdom that's going into it.
Okay.
And they're called the fates, and they're not actually nice. They're actually really fucking mean, and they want you to do things bad, so they have a purpose. So they kind of get you into these sticky situations, and they don't tell you a lot of stuff. It's like you can ask 3 questions and then that's it. But normally it leads you into more bullshit. They're a protagonist for sure.
Okay.
Antagonist. Sorry, they're an antagonist.
Alrighty.
That's the 3 fates.
So she was also an advisor to Zeus.
Yeah.
Themis served as a counselor to Zeus, advising him on matters of justice, oaths, and divine order, reminding even the king of gods to play fair.
Yeah. That's an important part of her identity, is that she ruled over everybody that you would have think, like, if there's a hierarchy of gods or goddesses, she always was at the top.
I thought Zeus was the man.
He is the man.
Nobody was over Zeus.
No, he's the one of the Olympians that didn't get eaten by his father and came back and killed the Titan. There were 12 Titans. See, that's where you have to get into the whole thing to understand like their hierarchy. You can think of Themis as like Zeus's aunt, who was like, little motherfucker, you can't have that cookie before dinner. Like that's her.
Okay.
I like that. That's a good way to describe her. Yeah. So
her symbolism, as we've already talked about, is the sword and the scales.
Yeah.
Sword and scales. She's often showed holding scales symbolizing balance and fairness, and sometimes a sword symbolizing decisive action and truth.
Yep.
And we already talked about the connection of swords to air in the tarot.
Yeah.
And her her resemblance to the Two of Swords, or the Two
of Swords and the Justice card.
The Justice card is her card. The Justice card of the tarot is Themis's card.
But when you see her imagery, there's just this feeling that like the Two of Swords comes up for me. So I had to figure out, and she's not as associated with that card because that card's not about justice. It's about choices and doing what's right for you. So it's more about your karma. What karma are you creating for yourself as you make your decisions? Which, cosmic law, that's what she's in charge of. So she's sort of associated it, but I'm talking her imagery that's what I thought of as the Two of Swords. Definitely.
Well, her presence asks us to weigh choices carefully and act with integrity.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's moral law. So she's an immortal, and she wanted everybody to have moral law, cosmic law. So she kept not only like the human race when we were born finally after the Olympians and all of that, created, I don't know, in the Greek mythology, you guys. She kept the gods in line. She kept the people on earth in line. She kept the sacredness of our planet in line. So Gaia would have been her mother. Gaia was also the earth and the whole cosmos. So she was in charge of keeping all of that in balance and not letting any one thing become too much of a ruler or too destructive or too anything. That was her job. I love that. We need more of that.
Okay.
We need Themis.
So we have some practical rituals, magical rituals for balance and injustice. Our first one is a balance altar using a pair of scales or just 2 candles or bowls or mirrors or anything
that's
flat.
like in twos.
Yeah, anything in
Twos.
pairs, twos. So 2 candles, or let's just say it's 2 candles, 1 white, 1 black. And during the Libra season, journal about where you feel balanced and where you feel off. Write down your worries and an affirmation for it. Place your worries on one side and your affirmations on the other side on your altar.
Yeah.
And put offerings on your altar throughout the season.
So I like
what kind of offerings would be good for this goddess or this season?
Little symbols towards what represents justice for you, what represents balance for you. When we think about balance, we always think about the black and white. Because it's like the opposite ends of a spectrum. So somewhere in the middle, there's balance. If we know the 2 opposite ends of the spectrum, the far left, the far right, whatever, what's the middle thing? Use that as your representations to place on the altar, because what you're trying to bring about is balance. So what if it's half salt, half sugar? I mean, that's one. What if it's oil and water? What if think about 2 things that you think are on opposite ends of a spectrum, whatever that is.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper? See, I see salt and sugar. That's
salt
so
and sugar,
funny.
though. Salt and sugar makes more sense, but salt and pepper because they're black and white.
I think of them as a pair, not opposites. That's so funny.
Well, you know what I thought of when we were talking about this before we started recording was when I read about her, I was like, so when we're doing spell work around anything to do with the legal system, like if we have a legal situation, a divorce, anything to do with the law, I thought this could be a good deity to call in if you wanted to do any kind of spell work revolving around a legal matter.
I'd love to tell you a very short story. I will try again to be short. But when we first started this 5 years ago, I was always like, anybody who needs help, like, reach out, whatever, because we were just such a small group in the meetup. I started talking with a girl who had her children taken away. I don't know if you remember this, all those years ago. She lived in California. She'd had her kids taken away.
I remember
her husband
Angie?
had, no. I don't remember her name.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember the girl from California.
Yeah. And she called me. And we talked, and I was really trying to help her, but she was like, I need you to do a spell for me. I was like, well, let's like empower you to do the spell. But it was about the legal system and the justice and the this. And what was it? She's like, I need you to make sure that I get my kids back. And I'm like, okay, well, that's very interesting. In my mind, I don't immediately go like, oh, yeah, you're a mom who wants her kids back. Absolutely, the kids should be with you. I'm like, I actually step way back from the situation. I'm like, is that the right place for the kids? Because I get one side of a story, which is why I don't really do spells for people, because I'm only going off of what they want and what they know. And I don't know that that's necessarily good for everybody involved. So what I say instead is not, asking a goddess or an entity to help place these children back in her care. I say, do what's best and good for the children, like whatever that outcome is. And I don't know if it's with her. Like, how can I know? If this is a person that I only have conversations with on a phone.
Right, yeah.
Like, so
and didn't she flake out at the end?
So many flakes out. And then call me a year later, and then it's like, I need your help again. I was like, oh, this is starting to be unhealthy. I had to set a boundary, and I was just like, I don't answer her phone calls. And it's unfortunate, but it's like, I can't let myself get wrapped up in something where you're only, even in that, there's balance, right? I'm only given half the story. And there was things like gun use was involved, and threats, and really serious shit, you guys. Like, I'm not sure I needed to be involved in this, but we never know where we find ourselves in domestic abuse situations, and I'm always willing to help a woman out who claims that. I'm like, I will absolutely help fight for you. I will help try to lift you up, give you any resources that I know about. Like, just listen. I'll be there just to listen. That's what I felt like I was doing, but her follow-through didn't, character-wise, it was like she's also revealing parts of herself. So for me, instead of just saying like what you want to happen from a legal standpoint, is what I say now, and even though it's hard, it's like whatever is best for that person's journey, like whatever they need to know, because I can only operate from my human self right now, like my higher self. I can tap into that sometimes, but I don't get to go making decisions for people. So what I say instead, when I just don't know the fucking answer, and I think this is what we can do when we need help and we're like, I need this thing to go my way. Yeah, that's great. We do want that, and the ego wants that. But what you really want is like, set me on my highest path. That I can never feel like it's wrong to say that in a spell, in a chant, on an altar. It's like, send me to my highest and best good in this situation, whatever that is. And if it fucking brings you down to a point where you're breaking, know that like that breaking point is going to build into something even bigger. Because that's how many of us can speak from that truth of, I needed to get to the bottom level of my situation before I would actually build myself back up and never go back to an abuser or something like that. You know, it's
well,
very sensitive.
You know, what that story reminds me of is why in our witchcraft course, one of the very first things that we talk about is ethics in witchcraft. And it doesn't seem like ethics would be like, you're like, ethics. What? In witchcraft? What
is 101? Are we in high school?
What does ethics have to do with witchcraft? But it's just something exactly like what Jamie talked about, where I know you've done spells for people. So when someone's asking you to do something for you, to give them a spell, or create a skill, or do a spell for them, it's you thinking about like, where are your boundaries? And that's one of the things that we cover in that very first course. We talk about that.
It's the very first
it's the very first
module.
It's in the first module, but I think it's in the very first segment of the module, or whatever we call the little mini, because there's like 5 or 6.
There's 4 modules, and then they're all divided up.
Yeah, there's like sub modules or whatever, although that's not what they're called.
It's so important to know where you stand when you're doing your work. It's really important to know. Where are your boundaries? Where's your ethics? Where's your morals? Where's your compass?
Where's your line of that you won't cross, that you won't do? You have to know that going in, because I mean, you just have to decide for yourself. Like, what's okay for me? Yeah. What's okay for me?
And I think when we get asked to do things like, you know, one of my really hard situations is that when my husband's daughter was in the hospital, and he's like, if there's anything you can do magically to make her like be okay through this, I was like, it doesn't work like that for me. Like, you don't get to decide life and death truly in witchcraft. That's not the path of my witchcraft. And to know that sometimes when you want things to be movie magic perfect, like make this person live, like literally practical magic, bring this fucking person back to me right now, make him alive, I don't care, do what you gotta do, I want this person back. And for my boundaries, I don't even pretend to think like that. It's like, that's not life and death. Death is a door, and I don't believe that people end after that anyway. So if they're crossing through it, it's lessons for us that are living, and for them, they're done with their journey, and like, that's just it. And I don't say that lightly. With my own son, having to confront him, he just had a seizure yesterday where he suffered a very bad head injury, and you know, there's just these shocking moments, and you're like, I don't get to control somebody's passing. I don't get to decide that they're going to live longer than me or not. I have to be okay with every day that I have with them. And the spell work that I do around it is to create more happy moments. It's not to like make them live forever. That's not my boundary. And so when we get into those ethics and morals, and what you think about is your own karma and cosmic law, and what do you really believe in, that's part of this justice system. Is it fair for somebody to wish you to live longer when your journey is done, or that you're prolonged, like to keep you? This gets into such a bigger conversation.
I believe there's a divine order to everything, and we all have our time here. And when it's time to go, that was decided. That's already decided.
We're allowed to tap out.
And
that's it.
Yeah, and so to have somebody like, even I think about, because I'm getting older. I'm about to be 67, and I know my kids
are getting older.
I know my kids will be sad and don't want me to go and stuff like that. And I don't know how long I'll be around. Maybe I'll live to 91, which is my plan, but maybe I won't. You know, maybe something will happen between then. But that's just that. You know, it was, to me, my life was predestined before I got here. At least certain parts of it, not everything, of course, because I have free will.
But
there are certain things that were predestined for me, like my family, you know, was picked. I picked that before I came here. And then also when I make my exit from here, and even though my children will be sad, I wouldn't want them to I wouldn't want you, like you and Jolene, to get together and try to stop it from happening. Because you know, it would be like, it's my time, you know, my time is up here.
Even with things that have happened with my husband, where we've had now 2 pretty close calls, you know, he got COVID, and he got the pneumonia that came from COVID, and like we went in and we were just like, oh, he's having shortness of breath. And it was just like, then he was just in a room and I couldn't even go see him. Well, I was not expecting for him to be taken from me. And then a week. And for me, it was like, of course I turned to my spirituality. There's a gecko in your house, Mommy. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
We're going to have to find him afterwards.
Yeah, because he's not going to live.
I know, he won't make it if he stays. Okay.
I unfortunately find them dried up somewhere later.
Squirrel. Even for me in my own witchcraft, when my husband was taken into the hospital, excuse me, and then it was like, Jamie, what are you going to do now? You got to reconcile something. Like, he may die, he may not, but what are you going to do in this meantime? And I made every single day count where I didn't get to see him, but I brought him breakfast every morning and I sat in the car. He could see me out his window from the hospital and I sat in the car, like I had the trunk open and I would sit eating my breakfast. He could see me and I couldn't see him, but I'd just look up at his window and we'd be on the phone talking and eating breakfast together. And like, that was meaningful, you know? So here's what I could control with it. I can't control when he dies. I don't get to have that say so. And I think that that's a big part in our ethics, morals, our cosmic balance, the things that we think of is, where does your control end in your own story, in the people's lives around you, you know? Did I absolutely send up like a spell jar? Yeah. And the nurses delivered every single thing I sent up. And I was like, I know this is full of like pine branches and rosemary and stuff. I was like, but he needs to be smelling this right now. You have him in literally like a ventilated breathing thing. And this is about his circulatory system and his air. And so I did all the things that I would do for healing. But did I do anything that was like, he's not allowed to die? No, I didn't do that. I didn't say like, my husband can't die yet. I don't want him to die, but it's like I focused on him healing from what's going on rather than you're going to stay alive for the next 10 years or something, you know, because that's where my boundaries lie for balance. I don't get to choose.
Yeah.
It's a roundabout way of saying, you know, you have an altar for putting things on it that create balance for you and what that means. And you can do life and death. You can do health and sickness. You can do, you know, like with my kid, he has epilepsy and I want him to have a normal life. Where do I find the balance in these things? You know, what do we do every day for that? How do I instill in him through words? Because it doesn't have to be a physical altar. It can be things that you write down. It can be mantras that you say. It can be encouraging little things that happen that just keep it going. Yeah. Was that heavy? That was a lot of heavy shit, wasn't it?
We're getting in there, yeah. Okay, you want to do the truth invocation?
So the truth invocation, I do want to clarify, I do this every once in a while, but there's invoke and there's evoke, okay, spelled different. When you invoke something, you are bringing something that you believe lives outside of yourself into your body, into your aura, into your space, into your energy. You're trying to absorb something into yourself. When you evoke, you are believing that things live inside of you, every opportunity ever, anything that you want to create, you are the creator of your own energy. You evoke it by bringing it from the seed in the pit of your stomach all the way into your being. It's literally growing out of you. So we can call this an invocation or an evocation, whichever you want. But I want you to understand where the two energies come from. You can think of it outside of yourself, or you can think of it like rising up from inside of you. So a truth invocation is to call on Themis when you need clarity. And often I do think of this outside of myself because I'm talking to my spirit guides. I'm talking to my higher self. I am thinking that it doesn't live in my body. So I do invocations, okay? I'm calling on something outside of myself to bring in a message to hear in my brain or to hear in the cards or whatever. But holding a clear quartz, which tonight I'm wearing a very big clear quartz necklace that my sister made me 10 years ago now. This is like one of my favorite ones. I charged it with Leo energy. I know. I love that she made it for me.
That?
She did. She made it for me.
I want one, Jolene. If you're listening, where's mine? Yeah. I need a big ass necklace like that.
10 years ago, so long ago.
That.
I know. It means the world to me. But I charged it with Leo energy this past Leo season, and so I wear it a lot because like when I have it, these are just things where I'm like I try to bring in that sun energy, that warmth, that like lion and my mane and all the things. But holding a clear quartz, say something to this effect, Themis, guide my heart and mind. Show me the truth that restores harmony, because balance means harmony. Internal, external, in your house, in your family, your relationships. Bring me the truth that restores the harmony. And I want you to remember that sometimes it is us stopping telling ourselves our own lies. We have beliefs that are not beneficial to us. They are not helpful. We're poisoning our brains into thinking something that is not actually true. So you can change the way that you think whenever you want. And so you might get messages about that. Confronting balance and harmony does not always feel good. Just so you know, like, that's why I loved leading with Kat's idea of Libras are so fun and outgoing, because I'm like, shit's hard in Libra season, actually. You're having to, like, confront, like, the thing that you want to see versus the thing that you know is actually real, and you're like, oh, I don't want to peel back the layers. So, and I don't always use the word Themis, just so you guys know. Like, I'll use goddess, I'll use team of light, I'll use, higher self, I'll picture something else. It doesn't have to be Themis, but that's the energy of a goddess of justice, cosmic order, sacred balance. So on to the justice spell.
So for a justice spell, so the things that you're going to want to have for a justice spell is a candle, white or blue, a bay leaf, a piece of string,
like twine or something.
Something like that.
Yep, hemp twine.
Is that anything? Is that it? Okay.
I know. Sorry, I didn't write down. I didn't write that very well for you to read.
It's okay. So what you're going to do for this justice spell is to, after you have your things, your
candle, bay leaf, and string.
Candle, bay leaf, and string. Thank you. And then we need something to write on too. I believe we need to write something down.
Yeah, pen to write.
So you're going to light your candle. You're going to write injustice on a bay leaf. Tie a knot in a string and say, do you tie the knot around the bay leaf?
You can, but no. Usually bay leaves are dried and they just crunch.
Yeah,
so
they would. They
work.
would crunch.
So
you're just tying a knot. In a string. Are you tying a knot in a string as you're saying this?
You can, and you can tie many knots.
I've seen
act
that, like
of tying a knot. Yeah, you can do multiple. Knot magic. Yeah.
No, the knotting thing with they do like.
That's where rosaries came from.
That's something something is coming back to me about knots and spells, because I've seen that before. So you're going to tie a knot in the string. I'm sorry that we're interrupting. Let me start back over. Light the candle. Light the white or blue candle. Write injustice on a bay leaf. Tie a knot in a string, or you can keep tying knots in strings as you say. Themis, or deity, or goddess, or whoever you want to call it.
Higher self.
Your higher self. Cut through the lies and bring balance back. Then you're going to want to burn the bay leaf safely, of course. We know you guys are smart enough to know to burn it in a fireproof dish.
You can hold it and burn it for a little while, and then make sure you have somewhere to place it while it burns out the rest of the way.
And then pass the knotted cord through the candle's flame.
Yeah.
So that string that you tied the knot in, pass that through the candle flame, and then leave this on your altar until the situation resolves itself.
And you're not burning the cord through. You're not burning it in half.
You're just doing it like you would.
You're like passing it through the flame. So this is actually, what it goes back to is the way that they used to pass herds through flames to purify them. You're bringing out, you're burning off the impurities of it. So when you have hemp or cord, it often is all like frayed and frizzly and frizzly. That's not a word.
Frizzly. It's a word now.
It's a new word now. That's what my hair is in humidity. It's frizzly. I don't want to forget we said that word. That's a new great word that I just made up.
I love that for you because frizzly. I know how much your frizzly hair is bothering you.
I have very frizzly hair. And
her hair is really bothering her lately with her new haircut. She's always fucking with it.
Yeah, I can't
She's
stop.
constantly fucking with it.
It takes hairspray and mousses, and then
we got sidetracked again.
Frizzly. Burn the frizzlies off of the cord, okay? So
so you're not burning this. You're not burning the cord or the string.
You're actually going to watch all of the little strands that are like all the little frizzy
all the little fibers that are sticking out. Yeah.
They're going to burn away as you pass it through the flame, And again, none of this has to be like super sciencey, like step 1, do this, step 2. No, just feel it. Be like, yep, passed it through. It shouldn't burn if you go kind of fast, and you don't have to get it super close, but it burns away, I'm doing air quotes, the impurities on the string to make the string look more even, more uniformed. Yeah, just all of the little frays that were there, the cracks in the appearance of it are now gone. And that's the symbolism of burning it off.
So when you're done, when the situation does resolve itself, you're going to untie that knot and then release the energy.
Yep. That's why you're not burning it in half. You put it on your altar. That altar you created for balance. Leave it there and let things unfold. You can keep writing words. Well, one of the things that I've done for the balance is that I did the 2 bowls and I put like my terrible thoughts over here, like my lies basically to myself. You're fat, you're ugly, nobody likes you, like you have a stupid voice, whatever, right? And then I put affirmations on the other side. And I don't really know what to call those negative thought things that I think, that mind chatter that's just stupid and I don't like it. And it's the part of myself that I'm like, ugh. Again, judgment towards it. You're fucking, get out of there. But the affirmations, I really love that part because I'm like, ooh, that feels so much better to write an affirmation than to write out the bad words that I think in my head. Not curse words, I love those, but like just the negative, terrible things.
We fucking love cuss words.
Fucking love it.
Sorry if we offend you.
Not sorry.
Okay, so that was our justice spell, and I often think of people that need justice spells because I think people have asked us before in somewhere in all of our platforms and interactions with witches over the years.
Things to do with law,
have asked for
family matters,
asked for things,
lawyers,
and I don't know that I knew.
We don't do a lot of them.
No, we don't do a lot.
We've been very fortunate.
This is not a something that comes up, and in fact, if you go through a spell book, you won't find a spell. You won't find any spell. At least I haven't seen them. Spells that have to do with justice or legal issues. So you kind of have to dig for that. So this is a good thing to remember. To jot this down in your book of shadows somewhere. Like if you ever need a justice spell, you can come back to this deity and this spell that we just told you about for justice.
Super
and
easy.
Use that. Yeah, super easy. So okay.
And if you don't know where to get bay leaves, remember they're just in the grocery store in the herb aisle, like dried herbs, bay leaves.
Yeah, they sell them whole in where the spices are.
All the spices. Yeah, that's what I said. The herb aisle. That's not what it's called. Yeah,
the herb aisle's out in our backyard.
Yeah, the spice aisle. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, where spices are.
And I did put in here just a little thing. If you wanted a day, if you're like us, where you really like to line shit up and feel very particular about things, the day to work with Themis is on Fridays, which is Venus's day, which is ruling by Libra, which I didn't know. I was like, and actually I still feel wrong saying it. Like I don't know that by heart. I wrote it down.
Libra, Venus rules Libra.
Venus rules Libra.
That's why there's so much. Is that right?
I don't fucking know. It doesn't feel right.
Why did you say that then?
I don't know. I wrote it. I don't know.
Actually,
I don't work with those things.
Actually, I think that may be correct. I should know this. I'm studying astrology.
She's learning still.
But I'm so learning and trying to absorb everything, and it's so much information. But yeah, I think that's true, and maybe that explains all the fun Libra stuff that they do. Because they're maybe Venus explains like Paul and Nancy, and all their like partying ways and wanting to have and good times. I don't know, but anyway. So Friday would be the day.
Fridays would be a good day for doing
on a full moon.
Yeah.
If you want to.
The full moon amplifies truth because it illuminates things.
It illuminates, yes.
Remember, full moon.
It doesn't allow anything to be hidden. Everything is exposed on the full moon.
It's all out in the open. We're airing all the dirty laundry.
It's all out there in the light for everybody to see. Yep. Okay.
So I did write this part. I love this. I want to do them myself. When I was writing them, I was like, ooh, I need like an hour or two to do these journal prompts. Okay. So this next one, you guys, this is like the empowerment and the integration of living in your air quotes right relationship with yourself. Really getting to know yourself, finding where you're imbalanced, bringing yourself back to balance. So I'm doing a happy Norbit clapping. Ooh, Hercules, Hercules. I just love it. The inner scales. This is 10 shadow work questions, and you know what, I will put them in the description of this video so that if you don't want to write them down right now, don't worry about it, just go copy it from the description in this video. But 10 shadow work questions for Libra season, and I love them, and I'm going to read 5 and then you're going to read 5.
Okay, well, I just want to say that I'm also going to turn the subject of this podcast into a blog post on our website, which is Uh-oh.
Tanky, everything's okay, buddy. We're here.
Is somebody here?
It's okay. Good boy.
We're working.
Working. He hates that word.
I'm going to make a blog post of the same content. So by the time you hear this, if you go to our website, whichworkscoven.com, and click on our blog from the navigation menu, you will find it in the first or second post will be about this, and I'll include these questions here these shadow
10 questions.
Yeah, these 10 questions here.
I love them.
And also, I think I'm going to add the spell too, because I'll just add all the things. So like the altar, the invocation, the justice spell, and then we'll do these.
Cat.
And then this is a good one because I needed something for the next. I need blog work. I need blog post content all the time. So
I'm happy to give you plenty of work to write about.
So find this also. If you're just listening on Spotify to us or Apple Music, then go to our website if you want this information and click
Apple
on blogs, and you will. What did I say?
Music.
Apple Blogcast. All right.
I love it. We need to say this at the beginning of the podcast. We've already said that. We need an intro.
We do. We're gonna
work on an intro.
We're on episode like 55 or something. So we've been doing this for a year, and it may be time for us to like
do an official intro.
An official intro where we get all the things that we want to say in at the very beginning, like really fast. And you can find us on our website. And subscribe to it and all that shit.
The little 30-second commercial.
Yeah, the little 30-second elevator pitch.
The elevator pitch. That's what it is. Yes. Okay. Here's the first 5 shadow work questions for Libra season. And I really love the first one because it's me, you guys. I inspired this. Or this is inspired by my life. Where am I pretending everything is fine just to keep the peace?
Oh,
I know.
Well, you are the peacemaker in the family.
I'm the peacekeeper, peacemaker.
She's the peacemaker in the family. That's always been her role.
Always, forever.
Yeah.
What truths am I avoiding because I am afraid they'll upset someone?
Ooh, another peacekeeper. Whew.
When have I chosen harmony over honesty? And how did that make me feel? Like you know what I say to myself sometimes? Just shut the fuck up, Jamie. Just shut the fuck up. Don't worry about it. No, don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth the fight. It's not worth this. And I do this with my kid. You know.
No, I've had to mentally tell myself, shut up.
Just stop.
Zip it.
Yep. Just don't. It's not worth it.
Yeah, don't even whatever you think right now. You
just
can
don't do it.
Just save it. Yeah.
So, do I confuse people pleasing with being kind? Where's the line for me at? So that's the whole thing. And I already know my answer. Yes, I do. And it's a struggle all the time because of my people-pleasing habits from the past to ensure my safety from relationships that have been bad. That's just what we do. Mm-hmm. So as you uncover those things, do I confuse people-pleasing with being kind? And where is the line for me? That's getting to know yourself more, finding your balance. My last one. Who or what throws me off balance the fastest? And why? And it comes down to making sure that they're happy. I can tell you that right now. They throw me off balance because I don't want to disrupt. I don't want to be an inconvenience. I don't want to upset people. And it fucking infuriates me.
Well, you want to keep everything harmonious.
I want to ensure my safety, and that is what people pleasing is. People pleasing happens because you're in situations where you don't feel safe. So if everybody's happy, you know you're safe, and you judge your safety off of other people's happiness. And that is people pleasing. So,
do these next 5 have to do with me?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, because the first thing I'm going to read to you is, where in my life am I tolerating injustice and disrespect? Oof.
Such a Scorpio thing. That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah. I think these seem like very cat-centric over here. What grudges or resentments am I secretly holding on to?
Shit.
Holy shit. Were we not just talking about this?
Yeah, definitely.
How do I react when someone calls me out? Defensive, avoidant, open? Oh, no, I'm very defensive. I already know that about myself. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, these are yeah. You may have not done this intentionally, but I think it just came out that way because I feel like these hit me. They hit home for me.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Okay. What part of me is desperate to be liked, even at my own expense? Oh God, every relationship I've ever had. What would my life look like if I stopped trying to make everyone happy? well, I don't really care about that, so that must be a Jamie win.
Oh, we found one. Okay, I didn't write the whole next 5 about her. I love it. Good.
Because I am not the person that's trying to make everybody happy, but I am, I don't like discontent, and I get anxious when there's, like conflict. So, yeah.
I have triggers. Okay, you guys know that I've been in therapy for over 10 years now, and it's voluntary therapy. I get it for free from the VA, and why not go? I've had probably 3 or 4 counselors now, and I enjoy torturing all of them. It's very fun. I like seeing what they come up with, honestly. I like seeing what new tools they have or what conversations we can have, and it just helps me. That is my session of shadow work with my counselors, and it's not always, they don't always provide me with anything. I'm like, I feel like I'm smarter than you, but then that's also shadow work for me. I'm like, why am I so judgmental of people? Maybe they just haven't lived as much life. I don't know. But I think that, I have these triggers, and one of them, I live in a wooden house, which I know that sounds really weird because in Florida, most of the houses are concrete and block.
They're block. They're cinder block.
Yeah, cinder block houses. But my house is a Key West style house, so it is wood. And what's very interesting about having a wood house is, because I never really lived in one before, I don't think. I mean, I guess houses in Kansas City were wood, yeah, floors and stuff.
Yeah.
I swear, I did not fucking hear everybody's footsteps. I don't know if I'm just more attuned to it now or what.
It may be your style of house, too, just the nature.
It's very echoey. It's very open. That's true.
Yeah, you've got the tower. What is that thing called?
I call it a steeple, but that's not actually what it's called.
Okay, well, she's got this thing that comes up off of her roof that's basically it's just kind of
3 stories of just air and windows.
Yeah, it's just like windows with the fans up there and stuff, but it lets in all of this light. But it also makes the house extremely echoey.
It's an amplifier.
Yeah.
So I have everyone in my house who walks. This is I don't know if this is just this is my trauma responses, my ADHD. I don't fucking know what it is. But everybody who walks in my house, I know their footsteps. And I don't just know their footsteps. I know their angry footsteps, and I know their happy footsteps, and I know their sleepy footsteps. I know how everybody sounds in my house, and I pay attention to it too much. It's unhealthy for me. I wish I didn't. I need to have on autism headphones where I block everything out because I tune into things too much, and then I internalize that. I'm like, ooh, they've got a heavy walk. Are they mad? Did I do something? Oh, did I leave dishes in the sink? What happened? Did we have a fight? Is somebody upset with me? That's what I'm thinking half the time, and it's so fucked. It makes me angry. So then I spiral. Not really, but I think of it and I recognize it, and I'm just like, Jamie, observe, don't absorb it. That's not your problem. If they have a problem, they'll come speak to you about it. And other than that, let it go. Get it out of your system.
Yeah.
That is my constant
I really
balancing
relate to
effect.
all of that.
Yeah.
I really do relate to all of that because I will let myself ruminate on some shit and make myself sick, anxiety so bad.
Right.
Worrying about something, and when it's not anything I can control. I made a mistake last week at work, and I worried about it for 24 hours. Yeah. And it really, it was so anxiety inducing. I was just and I kept telling myself to stop. And I finally did subside after about 24 hours, but I had to go through that. And I wish I could not do that. I wish I could not I made a mistake. Okay, life goes on, and then move on. But I don't do that. Instead,
we always say we care too deeply.
Yeah.
We say that about ourselves because we are very similar.
I do, and I always I don't want to disappoint, especially people that where my professional. It's okay. So my professional life, or in my family, in my family life too. I don't want to disappoint people with something that I did, because then it upsets the balance of things, and I don't like it.
So, 10 years of therapy in less than 5 minutes. We don't want to upset the balance because then we're not liked, and then we get cast out, and then we can't survive. And so that is a people-pleasing thing where we cannot help ourselves, and that stems from childhood trauma where we learn that we're not safe unless other people are happy. And it's the one thing that I continue to work on for myself, is knowing that if I am looking around making sure that everybody's happy, I'm in a fucked up, imbalanced place. But when I'm walking around going like, I am so incredibly happy. Look at all these beautiful things. I'm so grateful for this. This is why I have to walk out of not have to, but I love to. I walk out of my room and I'm like, I love my house. I give my house energy. I have the little altars. I love this. I love this. I am focused on more present moment. This is where I'm at. This is how I'm feeling. Not going, oh, is Cameron okay today? Is my husband okay today? Oh my gosh, has my mom contacted me? Is she mad about something? Did I forget something? Oh shit, did my sister call me? Oh my God, I haven't got back to my friends in like a month. We haven't hung out. Like, I wonder if they're mad at me. That fucking rolling around all the time, the people pleasing thing. And then it makes you the imbalance of it. I mean, that's just it. So if you have experienced things like this, you know, we get it. We're there. We're still dealing with it. Do we ever fully recover, heal? I've got all the words in my mind. What I think we do is that we figure out our balances. We know our triggers. We learn our automatic thoughts. We put in place affirmations that make things better to say, I am good enough. I'm worthy. I am loved. I'm safe. Everything's good. It's all, we have to, even when it feels like a lie when you first start saying that to yourself too. It feels like such a lie when you're like, you're worthy, you're loved, you're more than enough. Like, everything's great. Everything's great. Even just saying everything's great sounds like a lie to me. Like, that's not even something natural to say. So I have to come up with things that really mean something. Like, I have an incredible life. Look how hard I've worked. Like, everything's come together. I have a husband who loves me. Like, everything is good. But it's creating those affirmations. And that's why for Libra season, my altar has been, I put my negative thoughts over there. And I put my affirmations for what I want to say to myself over here. And I like writing those down because it makes it real for me. Did I tell you, this is a side story really quick before we sign off. Did I tell you the other day, I don't know, this is a couple weeks ago now, I don't know what was going on with me. Maybe my cycle, I don't know, fucking just hormones. I have no idea, but I felt exhausted. I knew I was tired that day. I was like, oh, I know I have a long day. I have a long day of doing stuff for other people, not doing the things I want to do, like be in the garden, do a puzzle, work on fucking writing shit for Witchworks, whatever. But I knew that I had a day of giving to other people. I went to get dressed, and when I was putting on my shorts, my automatic brain thought said, let's go make all the people happy. And I was like, whoa, who the fuck said that? I just said that. Let's go make all the people happy.
Oh my goodness.
That was out of nowhere. And I was just like, oh, I instantly recognized it as an automatic thought, not something that I wanted to think. I'm like, first off, we're gonna need some time with that shit. Is that how I feel right now? Like, that allowed me to really see that when I take care of my mother-in-law and taking care of Cameron and then doing this and then doing grocery shopping and then making dinner, it's like, where am I doing for me at? Balance. I needed to say, here's where I'm taking out an hour for me. Here's where I'm acknowledging my needs. Here's where I need to say that. I need to remind myself that I still take care of me. So that was really hard. I talked to Jolene about that, I think.
Wow.
I didn't tell you about that.
You didn't tell me that.
Oh,
and
my
that
gosh.
is
it's
like
so
a wild,
right?
That's a really wild automatic
make
thought
all the
to
people
have.
happy.
Let's go make all the people happy. I think that's very revealing.
It is.
It's very revealing. Wow.
The 10 years of therapy doesn't heal shit. No, I'm just kidding. That you're a constant work in progress. And that what's new is that as soon as it happened, I was shocked by it. I was like, who the fuck said that? That's what's new. That's what's changed. That's the healing part.
Yeah.
Because the me is like, whoa, hey, what are we doing? Oh, God, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Let's check in. Let's do something for you. Let's go get you a Starbucks or something. I don't know. You need to feel special right now. You need some attention. You need a foot massage. something. Yeah. But I was feeling like my whole life was dedicated toward making other people happy that day.
Oh, gosh.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a heavy burden to carry, making everybody happy.
It is.
Or feeling like you need to make everyone happy.
Taking on the responsibility, because maybe nobody's even asking you to make them happy, and you're just like, I think I'm in charge of this now, so I just do that to myself.
Yeah.
Because that's another form that we get into, is like, nobody asked you to do that, and you're just doing it, carrying that weight, and people are like, stop, I don't need that. Hey, back off. But you have to acknowledge it first.
Yeah.
So I do want to say, practicing saying no gracefully is a really important habit of mine, and I think that if you need to hear that practicing saying no gracefully, you're not saying no because you're mad at them. You're not saying no because you are mad at them. I don't know. I don't even know. Why do you say no to people? Because you literally physically
you don't feel
can't.
like it at the moment.
That's it. Because it doesn't align with you right then. No, can't. Sorry. No, maybe not even sorry. Just no, I can't. Is there another way I could help you out? Like, I'm free tomorrow. You can offer other things, but being able to say no more often is really healthy for us. And justice is not about punishing wrongs. Also, when we think about justice, we're always thinking about serving justice and, I don't know. I think about, the hammer of the law, or all the things they say.
The gavel, the judge's gavel.
The judge's gavel. Mm-hmm. But, so it's not about punishing. It is about protecting your peace, though. So consider that for one of your mantras. Saying no is not about punishing other people. It is about protecting my peace. That's it. Because you matter. You're important. What you need is important. And you need to have your desires and your needs met. Absolutely. So reminding us that balance isn't perfection, right? Balance isn't perfection. It's about listening to what's true and making small course corrections that make us feel all right again.
And Libra season isn't about just the happy Libras.
Or making everybody happy.
And it's not about making everybody happy. Mm-hmm. It's about living in harmony with yourself first.
Oxygen mask on you first. That's it. So I want you to light your candles and do your shadow work or your journaling. The more harmony that you create inside, the more harmony that will actually be in your life. It doesn't work the other way around. Making everybody happy first will not bring you more happiness. Make yourself happy first, then everybody around you can be happy.
It seeps out into your whole world.
It does, absolutely.
May your heart stay balanced, your truth stay sharp, and your Libra season be drama-free.
Drama-free.
We'll see you next time, witches. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.